All right, more news coming in from the U.S. Secret Service Chief Kimberly Cheatle was confronted at the Republican National Convention with infuriated senators demanding answers over the major security failure that saw a near-miss attempt on the life of Donald J. Trump. This amid growing calls for Cheatle to resign over the agency's handling of the whole incident.
This is exactly what you were doing today on the call.
Stonewalling. Attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe the people.
I have called for your resignation, and I rather
Now, in the video that you are seeing, it's a viral video going across social media platforms. The Republican senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, along with multiple others present at the RNC, was seen confronting. Now, this while another person was seen accusing her of stonewalling as she proceeded to walk away.
I have called for your resignation, and I rather resign.
According to latest reports, a U.S. Secret Service official has said that a local police SWAT team was in another building than the one the roof of which was used by Thomas Crooks, the man who shot at Trump. Now, this version of the official is in contradiction to a prior claim by the Secret Service chief that the 20-year-old gunman Thomas Crooks was on top of the building containing the SWAT team near Trump's campaign rally. According to reports, investigations have revealed that the local police saw Crooks with a rangefinder and that they had informed the Secret Service that they were looking for Crooks with the device before Trump took the stage at the rally. These new revelations come a day after news that the Secret Service before Saturday's shooting boosted security for Trump after intel on an Iranian plot to kill him. Tehran has of course strongly denied these claims, while the disclosure are certain to increase the already sharp questions about whether the Secret Service acted appropriately in arranging security for Trump's rally. And to take all of these developments further, we are being joined by Reena Shah from Washington, D.C. She is a former presidential campaign chief spokesperson and also the founder of Relax Strategies. Ms. Shah, thank you so much for joining us here on WION. Good to see you. First up, let me ask you, what has changed for Donald Trump since that assassination attempt?
Well, I believe that the former President Trump has certainly been humbled by that attempt at his life, that he missed by just 2 inches, the shooter, from taking the former president out. I mean, this is a moment that will remain shocking for those of us who not just saw it in real time, but the people who saw the images afterwards. Him emerging out of a huddle of Secret Service agents around him with his fist up in the air, almost defiant as his ear was bleeding. He's rolled into the Republican National Convention with what appears to be a large bandage on his ear on multiple nights of the convention. And I think that he is enjoying the sympathy that he's getting because he believes it will give him a boost in the polls. I personally, on a professional level, don't believe that that boost will be sustained. I think it will be temporary. There are still 100-some days to go into the general election. And though he survived this attempt, I don't expect him, again, to really capitalize off of it for much longer.
Right. Since you say that, it does seem like the entire Republican Party is rallying behind him. And speaking of that bandage on his ear, we were just getting visuals of some of the supporters who are actually putting on a similar bandage on their ears to show solidarity for the former president. In fact, if we speak about his rivals who have now turned endorsers, if I could just quickly quote Nikki Haley, who had formerly said that a Trump nomination by the Republican Party would be a collective suicide for Americans. She now went on to say that you don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him. We need to agree that America is stronger. We agree on keeping America safe. So then what do you make of that?
Well, I think that Nikki Haley has changed her tune about Donald Trump simply because she has her own political ambitions. She understands that she can't have a future in this party unless she meets the moment. And the moment means to go ahead and bow at the altar of Trump. You know, the Republican Party isn't functioning like it used to in the modern era. It is functioning more like a cult of personality, which it very much is. You know, 4 days of RNC, the Republican National Convention, has shown the American public that these supporters of him, and they are the most ardent and fervent supporters who come from coast to coast to convene and get energized about the election that's ahead. These people are refusing to be in touch with reality. Many of them still deny the results of the 2020 election, the fact that Donald Trump did lose. With the empirical data we have seen from coast to coast, he was not able to beat Joe Biden then. But these Republicans feel good about their chances now because Joe Biden looks so weak physically. Nikki Haley, I think, is taking a bet, took this risk to essentially come back out and rear her head into the lion's den, essentially just because she wants to perhaps run in 2028 and mend the fences with those most fervent supporters of Trump, the Make America Great Again movement, folks, which really characterize this convention.
All right, then let's talk about those Republicans who don't exactly agree with what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance bring on the table. Do you think they will vote for the Democrats this November?
I actually believe a great many Americans, not just moderate center-right Republicans, I believe a great many of them will stay home. So many people do not feel good about this Biden-Trump rematch. There's a great deal of apathy out there in our electorate. And let me just share this with you. 80 million Americans approximately chose to stay home in 2020. They did not vote. We don't have good data that tells us or is able to help us draw any good conclusions about what those voters are going to do this time. So there's a large segment of the electorate that's up for grabs, the more independently minded voter that lives in a suburb. Those kind of people could either go Democrat or they could go Republican. But I think given the choices on the ballot at this very moment, too many Americans choose to stay home and not politically participate in this year's general election.
All right, Ms. Shah, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and getting us your insights.
Thanks for having me.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.